our lands. The camping, because I know there's a lot of people living there for ages and doing any kind of stuff. I was just on the beach the other night, because my family's down here for a funeral. I was down by the pillars, I was driving up the road, the police were chasing somebody in the bushes from across. And you know the problem in Anahola is drugs. And the problem is accountability. Everybody got to be accountable for your ohana and for your kids and for your actions. The thing about driving on the beach is, I know plenty of people that drive on the beach and go fishing. They don't hurt nobody. They don't make no trouble. That's not the people that is blowing it for everybody. The people that is blowing it for everybody is the guys going up and down, burning the rubber on nuts, on the tweaking, I can say the word tweaking, or whatever they're doing and stealing from our community. That's the problem. The problem is not driving down to the beach with your tutu or your special needs tutu, sitting down and catching some fish. That is not the problem. The problem is accountability. So when we go home, we need to talk to our families and friends and say, hey, you know what? Get some wisdom and take care. Because nobody gonna take care of us unless we take care of us.
So I tell you what, I've been keeping a license plate list. I would turn them over to you, and you guys. I'll turn that list over to you guys, and then you can figure out.
It's a secret.
I only do it so that if there was something that happened, if somebody got hurt that night, at least I had a record of whatever. But anyway, let's let Auntie speak, and then Carl, can we do a closing pull? This has been an outstanding meeting.
The only reason why I'm taking time again is because of history. And from hearing what just was said a little while ago, I am concerned in that we have a misconception, because that hill now, next to where we're looking here, this yellow part at the very end, which is part of her lease, and this is the stream that we're talking about, Kawika. Okay, that's the state stream, but your yellow mark, here, this is the stream. Yeah, this hill, okay? That hill, if you look at the old pictures of Anahola, that used to be the area where the plantation and the pier was. The railroad tracks, that was where their house was. And then later on, it was a farm by the Yamamotos, where we see as the part of the camping park for Hawaiian homes was really DLNR, like part of that Hawaiian Homestead Act, and that lease was by the Yamamoto family. They lived on that hill now where the park is. And so as far as Evie over there was never any kind of burial. If you talk to the old Hawaiians, that place has nothing to do with Evie. That was where people lived. There was a house there, yeah? And as far as tidal waves, the people who live in the village say the way the ocean is, and when they have that big tidal wave, the tidal wave does not come straight into Anahola. It goes around, and so the farm that I have, it goes around that way, and then it goes out through the Anahola River area in that way. So it goes around. The pine trees that we see planted there, that whole area was just sand. And if you look at old pictures, you'll see like only grass growing over there. You know? So the trees were planted when there was war, and then they brought in these seedlings and threw it all over there. So as far as it serving as a windbreak, you know, and I can see where you do need to, because even though there are some trees, I can hear it cracking. Yes. You know, they fall, and luckily I'm not there, but they do fall down, and you know, we use it for firewood, but
they're dangerous. Some of them are dangerous.
But we need to know the history about the village, you know. So DLNR gave, Hawaiian Homes gave that piece to the Appease as an appeasement, because there was a suit regarding the Anahola village area, like who had jurisdiction over them. And because of management and who was going to do the toilets and all kinds of stuff. So there was like a settlement, and in the end, the Appease, there's a legal name, but they turned it over to Hawaiian Homes. So now that becomes like a Hawaiian Homes park. So everybody needs to, you know, before we go off on tangents, that we should do a little bit of history about
And what's
Anahola
your number,
Village.
Auntie?
One more other thing I would like to say. In essence, the people in the village were responsible for Hawaiian Homes developing up here. And in a way, it was a selfish reason for them because they did not have electricity. The only way the electric company would bring electricity into the village was if they had a bigger development. So the people in the village became very politically active and got people in government to do this development up here. So, you know, maybe kind of in hindsight, it has really destroyed their way of living in the village. And I just want to say this to you that, you know, I travel a lot. I've been to many places. There is no place like Anahola Village. There's something special about that village because it's secluded, you know. One other thing was, when the Hawaiian Homes developed up here, the road that goes up got cut into the hillside. So now the people in the village have to put up with all of the traffic that has nothing to do with Anahola, but because instead of going out on the main road, they take the road down to the village shortcut and then they go up to the store. So we get a lot of traffic that is not meant for the village. And so in essence, that lifestyle in the village has changed. You know, I wouldn't say for the betterment, but this is something that we have to deal with, because when progress comes about, you know, we all have to make changes, but if we can do this and just try to realize that, you know, we don't want to be stepping on other people's toes, and we could live in a community peacefully, you know, and not point our finger and say, you're this, you're that, you know. Just try to see what we can do to make, I guess because I'm old, my life is limited, you know, so I don't see like I got a whole lifetime to be fighting with people. You know, I don't want to be fighting. I want to live out the rest of my life in peace. You know?
We are right on time, it's 8:31, I'm gonna ask Kahu to do the closing pule. Yes, please.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you here tonight. Anahola had shined with all the people we grew up with. If we can only agree to disagree, we gonna come, we gonna argue, we gonna do everything, but if we come together as Anahola, where we grew up, we gonna make them happen. We gotta come together, Anahola, once and for all, to rise and shine above everybody else. This is our home. Please, take that to heart. I mean, everybody in here, we all grew up together. This is our home. We're gonna shine for our Anahola.
You know, I'm the kahu, so I'm gonna preach a little bit, okay?
You're right on time, Kahu.
Sorry. When I went to Ko'olahuia church, you know, Hawaiian churches, they're always fighting. Okay? And I told them one day, you gotta read this book. It's called The 50 Best Church Fights. Because you can fight for good reasons and fight good, and good things happen out of it, yeah? So, you know, Matthew 5:22, Jesus says the worst sin in the Bible, what is it? Does anyone know what he says in that verse?
Unbelief.
He says the worst sin is the sin of raka. And what raka is? Is when we talk stink about somebody. The raka in Hebrew is when you get your fingernails and go by the chalkboard or mailbox and go like this. And everybody hears it, you get that feeling, yeah? That's the sin of raka. So when we always talk about ho'oponopono and making things pono, what's the opposite of that?
Shaka.
It's ho'oba'a. It's when we stink talk about each other. And I think what Auntie was saying today was real important, that what I saw tonight was that you guys have difference of opinions, it's like, that's okay. But it's how you work it out with each other, you see the bigger picture. This place can be a healing place, and it is a healing place for this island. So we can bring it back. I know you guys will. Yeah? Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for this evening. We just ask your breath of the Lord to come down upon everyone tonight. Help us, Lord, to guide our words, our tongue, to give praises to you, to work out our differences. We may have big differences of opinion of each other, visions of what needs to happen, but help us to work it out. We know that things don't get built overnight. But we pray, Lord, that this community will be a healthy and thriving community, one that we can be really proud of with our children and our kupuna, that it will be a safe place, that it will be a growing place, and a growing place and a healthy place that we don't want everybody else coming here, but we want this to be a model place for all of Anahola everywhere. Thank you so much for who you are and who you, the challenges that you give us to learn to stand up on our own and to express ourselves, but at the same time work together because of our differences and our thoughts as well. Amen.